Look at this globe illustration showing the split of the ancient supercontinent into West and East Gondwana. Millions of years ago, during the Mesozoic era, this massive landmass laid the geological foundation for the modern state of Rajasthan. Fast forward to modern India. Rajasthan sits squarely in the northwestern part of the country, ranking as the largest state by area. It covers exactly 3,42,239 square kilometers. To put that number into perspective, this single state makes up 10.41% of India's entire geographical footprint. Compare that globally and the sheer scale is even clearer. Rajasthan is roughly the same size as Germany and about twice the size of Great Britain. Because of its vast and uneven borders, the British historian T.H. Hanley classified its specific geometric shape as a rhombus, or a kite. Pinning down a geographical kite of this magnitude requires a highly specific mathematical grid. Take a look at this document's extension map. Measuring straight down the middle from Kotha village in the north to Borkund village in the south, the state spans 826 kilometers. But look at the horizontal axis. From Katra village in the extreme west to Silawat village in the east, the state stretches 869 kilometers. Counterintuitively, the state is physically wider than it is long. That creates a precise 43-kilometer difference between the width and the length. If you draw straight lines connecting these opposing points, they intersect perfectly at the Nagaur district. This geometry is locked into place by a strict latitudinal bounding box extending from 23 degrees 3 minutes north to 30 degrees 12 minutes north, and a longitudinal spread from 69 degrees 30 minutes east to 78 degrees 17 minutes east. Here on this geological map, we see the Aravalli mountain range outlined in red. It slices diagonally from the southwest to the northeast, bisecting the land surface into two unequal halves. This mountain spine acts as a primary divide, splitting the state's 43-kilometer skew into two distinct geographical sectors. Now, let's map the Tropic of Cancer at 23.5 degrees north. Notice how it clips the absolute southern tip of the state, tracing a 26-kilometer stretch squarely through the Dungarpur and Banswara districts. Because Banswara sits directly on this line, it absorbs the most direct solar rays. Conversely, Ganganagar, positioned at the far northern edge, receives the sun's most oblique rays. While latitude determines solar angles, the state's massive 869-kilometer width creates a measurable discrepancy in sunrise times. This calculation breaks down exactly how the 8-degree 47-minute longitudinal spread translates to time. Since the Earth's rotation means the sun takes 4 minutes to cross a single degree of longitude, the gap creates an exact 35 minutes and 8 seconds delay between sunrise in eastern Dholpur and western Jaisalmer. These coordinates do more than mark a map. They determine where the sun strikes most directly and exactly when the day begins across this vast landscape. Let's examine the exact perimeter bounding this landmass. The state features a total terrestrial boundary extending 5,920 kilometers. Of that total length, a distinct 1,070-kilometer block forms the western edge. This schematic illustrates the Ratcliffe Line, the historic international border shared with Pakistan. Following recent reorganizations, it touches 6 specific Rajasthan districts: Ganganagar, Anupgarh, Bikaner, Phalodi, Jaisalmer, and Barmer. Along this perimeter, Jaisalmer holds the longest continuous stretch, while the newly recognized Phalodi district shares a brief section of roughly 20 kilometers. This 1,070-kilometer line firmly establishes India's strategic western edge. That leaves exactly 4,850 kilometers comprising the interstate boundary, connecting Rajasthan to 5 other Indian states. This map details the most extensive of those connections. 10 separate Rajasthan districts interlock with Madhya Pradesh, creating a massive, jagged 1,600-kilometer border. Contrast that with this northern micromap. Here, Sri Ganganagar and Hanumangarh form the state's shortest interstate connection, an 89-kilometer border shared entirely with Punjab. The remaining border length is divided among Haryana at 1,262 kilometers, Gujarat at 1,022 kilometers, and Uttar Pradesh with 877 kilometers. To master Rajasthan's geography, keep this cheat sheet handy. We have a total area of 3,042,239 square kilometers, dimensions spanning 826 by 869 kilometers, and a 5,920 kilometer perimeter anchoring the state to both the nation and the world.